Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, all honor, all glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth according to the Bible through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah. And a sincere peace and salutation to all you hopeful let Akim out there, pushing this word in all truth and sincerity, doing the work as Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah has created us to do, so he can wake up and seal the elect of the nation of Israel, which consists of you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and you Israelites who are scattered amongst the heathen nations that may look like the heathen nations, but your father's seed line and your lineage goes back to you being a so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American. One is the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. Hey, Shalom. It's your brother Halakia from the GMS Denver camp coming back once again through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shah, with another lesson. And in this lesson, we're going to focus on the prophecy of the destruction of Babylon. You see? Because you have Christians, when they hear about the destruction of Babylon or Babylon being destroyed, so forth and so on, or the fall of Babylon, they want to tie it back to ancient Babylon. But no. Ancient Babylon went down by a preemptive strike at the hand of Darius the Mede. That kingdom did not go out by way of destruction, as the Most High calls for the future Babylon to go out. And that future Babylon represents what? America. Babylon the Great. You see? Because you have to go into some of these things that the Most High says, go into some of these words to get a better understanding of what's being said. Now we know that ancient Babylon was not made of desolation. You see? And that's what the Most High calls for when he talks about the destruction of Babylon. But we know ancient Babylon didn't go out that way. The Most High said he's going to bring the same fate of Sodom and Gomorrah upon Babylon. Ancient Babylon didn't go out by way of fire and brimstone. You see? This is referring to a future prophecy, and we're going to show you this. So let's start right here in Jeremiah 50 and 9. It says, "For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country." And this represents what? This represents Russia and its allies, man. Because Russia is going to spearhead the destruction of America. It says what? "They shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain." Those arrows represents what? These nuclear missiles that the Most High has these heathen nations constructing. It represents the ICBM, man. They're known in the scriptures as arrows. Matter of fact, let's get this real quick. Second Esdras. Yep. Second Esdras 16 and 13 says what? "For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world." Now we know that no actual bow and arrow can shoot no actual bow can shoot an actual arrow to the ends of the earth. This is talking about the ICBM missiles, man. Hence why they've been named what? Intercontinental ballistic missiles, being shot from one end of the earth, from one continent to another. You see? That's what it means by when his arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. You see that? This is all going to be spearheaded by Russia. This is what the prophecy calls for, man. You see, this goes hand in hand with the destruction of America. Now, when we go back, it says what? "None shall return in vain," because at the end of the day, the reason these heathen nations are building up this technology, building up this destructive force, is to fulfill the will of the Almighty Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. You see, because the fate that the Most High has laid out for America is destruction by way of fire. You see that? This is what the Most High has ordained. Now, as we go on, verse 10 lets us know what? "And Chaldea shall be a spoil. All that spoil her shall be satisfied, saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah," because the world is fed up with America. The Most High is fulfilling prophecy, is bringing prophecy to pass of what? America being completely despised amongst the heathen nations. You see? And why is this happening? Is because this is the Most High bringing judgment upon this place for for what's been done unto his people, us so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. This great judgment is about to be poured upon you for what you've done unto his people. Just like that great judgment that came upon ancient Egypt. It came because of what? Of what those Egyptians were doing unto the Israelites. The same thing is about to happen here in this land known as America, man, which is spiritual Edom and spiritual Sodom. So Jeremiah 15:11 says what? Because you were glad, because you rejoiced, or you destroyers of mine heritage, which is who? The Israelites. You see? Yeah, the Most High's heritage is who? The Israelites. Going on. Because you are grown fat as the heifer at grass and bellow as bulls. Now listen. Your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. And that goes into Great Britain because that's where America is spawned from. You see? And as you notice, a lot of the allies of America are distancing themselves, and it's going to happen more and more as we get closer to the end, because that's prophecy as well. You see? The men that were confederate with thee have deceived thee. That goes into the book of Obadiah, verse 7. When it's all said and done, the allies of America, they're going to fire missiles upon this place as well, man. It tells you that in the book of Revelation 17. And what's going to happen when that takes place? It says what? Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. What's the furthest west you can go? The furthest west you can go is here in this land, man, Babylon the Great. This is the hindermost of the nations, man. The sun rises in the east and sets in the west. This is the hindermost of the earth, man. And how is this land going to become a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert? By way of that thermonuclear fire. The Most High didn't prophesy this of ancient Babylon, man. You see? This wasn't a prophecy pertaining to ancient Babylon. And we're going to show you once we get to this word desolation. So verse 13 says what? Because of the wrath of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues. Now, it says what? It shall not be inhabited. It shall be wholly desolate, right? So let's go into what the word desolate means. When we go into this word for desolate, what does it mean? Man, get the hell out of here. It says what? Devoid of inhabitants and visitors, deserted, a desolate, abandoned town. You see? Showing the effects of abandonment and neglect, that dilapidated, barren, lifeless. You see? This is what the Most High has prophesied to come upon Babylon, right? Transitive verb, to make desolate, to deprive of inhabitants, to lay waste, forsake, to make wretched. This is what the Most High has ordained for Babylon. Now, did that happen to ancient Babylon? Yes or no? No, it didn't, because when you just go to the internet and do some research, because ancient Babylon is now modern day Iraq. Now, I just typed in how many people live in Iraq. 43.53 million people live in Iraq, inhabit Iraq. Now, we just read the definition for desolate, and we just read the prophecy, man. The prophecy said, so if this was prophesying of ancient Babylon, that land should not be inhabited. You shouldn't have 43 million people living in that land right now, because that's what the prophecy calls for. We go into desolate, it backs up what the prophecy says. Desolate goes into what? Being without inhabitant, man, just like the Most High said it would be. This is not talking about ancient Babylon, which is now modern day Iraq. They got a whole soccer team. If I ain't mistaken, they got a seat at the fucking not European Union, at the fucking United Nations. That shouldn't even be a thing if this prophecy pertained to ancient Babylon. It should have went out by fire and brimstone. It should be burned up. It should be no one living there right now. But once again, we got the statistics of how many people live there. And I'm pretty sure you can go look up tourist spots in Iraq, all type of stuff. This shouldn't be a thing, you see, if this prophecy of Jeremiah 50 pertains to ancient Babylon. It should have went out just like the Most High said it did, or said it would. This is how we know that this prophecy does not pertain to ancient Babylon. This prophecy pertains to the destruction that's been foreordained to come upon America. You see? This is what this is, man. America is about to suffer this destruction by way of fire. This is the Babylon that the Most High was referring to in this prophecy. This is the land that's going to be without inhabitant. You see? Suffering the same fate as Sodom and Gomorrah. Because once again, ancient Babylon was taken out by a preemptive strike. Fire and brimstone did not rain down upon ancient Babylon, man. You see? So Jeremiah 50 and 13 says what? Because of the wrath of Yahweh, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues. 14. Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow. So all these nations that have the thermonuclear capability, they're going to come up against this place, man. You see? All the nations that have thermonuclear capabilities, even the allies of America, they're going to fire them upon this place. Because at the end of the day, it's all of the Most High's will. As a punishment and a judgment for the inhabitants of this land. And the only ones who are going to escape it is the remnant of the nation of Israel. It goes on to say, for she have sinned against Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. And we see all the madness that's being pushed forth and propagated from this land. We see what this land is doing to the children of the Most High. So this is why the great judgment has been set to befall this place. It says what? Verse 15. Shout against her round about. She have given her hand. Her foundations are fallen. Her walls are thrown down. For it is the vengeance of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. Take vengeance upon her, as she have done, do unto her. Exactly. This is the Most High finally bringing vengeance upon this place for what's been done unto his children here, man. This place is finally getting what it deserves. Just like ancient Egypt before it. The Most High is about to punish this place, man. And it's going to become a dry land, a desert, a dry land, and a desolation, according to prophecy. This hasn't taken place yet, man. We're waiting for this to come to pass. This is going to happen here in these last days. You see? Let's get something else that goes with it. Now, when we go to Jeremiah 13, because this prophecy, this vision, the Most High gave it to multiple prophets, man. You see? The Most High gave this vision to multiple prophets, and he even gave the vision to John the Revelator on the Isle of Patmos of the destruction of America. Revelation 17, Revelation 18. See, when you read about that lake of fire, Revelation 14, the smoke of their torment ascending up forever, that goes into the destruction of America, man. The lake of fire goes into the destruction of America. You see? So Isaiah 13, and this is one of my favorites to go into. Isaiah 34, Jeremiah 50, Jeremiah 51. Even portion of Jeremiah 49 goes into the destruction of America. It's written all throughout the scriptures, man. It tells you what the day cometh that shall burn as an oven. It all goes into the destruction of America. The Most High leaving the 2/3 here and melting them, that goes into the destruction of. It's written everywhere. It all goes into the destruction of America. which is Babylon the Great, the daughter of Babylon, man. It wasn't talking about ancient Babylon receiving this fate, because we know, according to what's written in prophecy and according to secular history, how Babylon was taken out. Once again, fire didn't rain from the heaven in ancient Babylon, not to this magnitude of the Most High leaving it as a desolation. Because once again, you have 43 million people and that was I think a census from 2021. So the number's risen since then. So Isaiah 13 and 17 says what? Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver. And as for gold, they shall not delight in it. The Medes represent who? The Russians. Once again, Russia is going to spearhead the destruction of America. They're going to lead the charge in it. And you're going to have the allies of America join unto them, man. Verse 18 says what? Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces. They shall have no pity upon the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children. Because once these missiles are shot off, man, they're going to destroy indiscriminately, man. Man, woman, and child. And we've been telling you this over and over and over again. The only ones who are going to be exempt from this judgment is the remnant of the nation of Israel. This is why we need to be saved, and Lord willing, we be a part of that number. Because this is the only way to escape the destruction the Most High set up to befall this place. You got guys talking about ain't no chariots. Well, how the fuck are we getting out of here once it goes down? Once that button is pushed, how is the elect getting up out of here if there's no chariots? The only way we can escape this is by going up into the chariots, man, to enter into the chambers. You see, until the indignation be overpassed. There's no other way for us to escape this, man. And that lets us know that you guys don't even believe that America's going to be destroyed. Because you haven't given an answer how we're going to escape this destruction. If there's no chariots, how do we get out of here? How are we delivered? How are we going to be protected from these flames the Most High has ordained to wash over this land, man? Because this is what's coming. And when they hit, they don't give a damn about how old you are, how young you are. They don't care about what your race is or your gender is. They don't give a damn if a woman is 4-5 months pregnant. Hey, if she's in labor, or she has a 1-year-old on her hip, they don't give a damn about none of that, man. They're gonna melt in perfection, man, to do the Most High's will. Their eyes shall not spare children. Hey, because like the scriptures tell us, whoever perish being innocent. Those children are paying for something they've done in their past lives, man. They're receiving judgment as well. So Isaiah 13 and 19, it says what? And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. Now we know how Sodom and Gomorrah went out, man. It went out by what? Fire and brimstone raining from the heavens. Is that how ancient Babylon went out? If so, find us the account. It should be recorded in history of this great destruction that befell Sodom and Gomorrah, Babylon the Great. Because it's recorded how Sodom and Gomorrah went out. Fire and brimstone. And they've even found the location of where Sodom and Gomorrah used to be. A guy went over there and he picked up, and the sulfur is still there. An evident token of what took place so many thousand years ago. And it still burns to this day. It's so fucking hot. It burned. I think it burned through the spoon that he had a sulfur ball on, man. All these 1,000 years later, the residue of that destruction is still there. Let me see. Oh, man. Where is it, man? Is it in the Apocrypha? There it is. There it is. It says, 2 Esdras 2 and 8, it says, what? Woe unto thee, Ashur, thou that hidest the unrighteous in thee. O thou wicked people, remember what I did unto Sodom and Gomorrah, whose land lieth in clods of pitch and heaps of ashes. Even so also will I do unto them that hear not me, saith Yahweh, the Almighty Power. You see that? So that same type of destruction is coming upon this land here in America. And 2/3 of you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you're going to be caught up in it because you refuse to take heed to what the Most High is telling you. When he's speaking unto you through his men, telling you to repent. You see? And we're telling the rulers of this land that you're going to be engulfed in that fire as well. Is it because what? You're the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction. A lot of you Edomites, shit, all of you Edomites here in this land are going to be burned up in that fire. This is because you're the Most High's, you're the people of the Most High's cursed to judgment, man. According to Isaiah 34. But the Most High tells you right here, the land of Sodom and Gomorrah, what? Lieth in clods of pitch, and they found it, man. All you got to do is go look up on YouTube. I guess type in Sodom and Gomorrah or some of that sort. I seen a video a while ago. I can't remember exactly what his name, but you can go look it up, man. Do the research. It's an evident token of what the Most High did all that time ago, man. That's the same fate that awaits America, man. So Isaiah 13:19 says what? And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. And it shall and it shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. The Most High is not lying when he says this. The Most High says it's never going to be inhabited again. So if this is talking about ancient Babylon, why are 43 million people inhabiting that land? Is the Most High a liar? Did he prophesy these things and not bring it to pass? And we know according to the scriptures that it is impossible for the Most High to lie. Numbers 23:19 lets us know what? The Most High is not a man that he should lie, neither the son of man that he should repent. Have he said and shall he not do it? Or have he spoken and shall he not make it good? Exactly. The Most High doesn't lie. If he tells you that the land is going to become a desolation, that's what it's going to be. And that didn't happen in ancient Babylon because that's not who that was prophesied about. It was prophesied to take place here in Babylon the Great, the daughter of Babylon. You see? That golden city. Known as America, man. That's who the Most High was making these prophecies towards. Or speaking these things about. So Isaiah 13:20 says what? It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. You see that? And once the Most High finishes with this place, once again, it'll never be inhabited again. No one will be setting up shop here. No more stores. No more coming up here to sell your wares and your goods. This land is going to be a complete desolation. A barren wilderness, man. This is what's ordained to come upon this land. It tells you what, verse 21. But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures. And owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there. And the wild beasts of the island shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant palaces. And her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. Because the Most High has put an expiration date upon this land known as America. And when that time comes, it's going to suffer the same fate as Sodom and Gomorrah. You see, this place is going to become a complete desolation, never being inhabited again. The Most High prophesied this of America, man. This is the fate of this place. So all you people out here screaming, "God bless America this" and "God bless America that," you're fucking delusional. This place has never been blessed by the Most High. It's being cursed from the foundation of the earth to suffer this fate. And that day fastly approaches, man. And so with that, man, Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. I'm going to end it by giving all praise, all honor, all glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth according to the Bible through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah. And a sincere peace and salutation to all you hopeful I came out there pushing his word in all truth and sincerity, doing the work as Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh has created us to do. With that, I'm going to say Shalom, Wa, Abba, Babal.